Hey everybody, this is Gene with Motoclops, and I'm here to show you how to swap out your brake pads. So the brakes on most of this platform are either the same or very similar. So what I'm about to show you applies to almost all of the bikes out there. Today we're working on a model year 2024 RFN Rally Pro. And yeah, we're gonna get started. So first thing you wanna do is you want to remove the caliper mount bolts. So for this particular brake, they are a 5mm Allen. So we're gonna take our 1/4" driver and our 5mm socket and get If it's the first time coming out, like the bolts coming out, they will be a little bit more difficult because there is some blue Loctite on there from the factory. And we will want to reapply some blue Loctite when we reassemble. So those come right out. This particular model does have a safety pin in the rear. So we've got a pair of needle nose and we're going to remove that pin. And then we've got a 3mm hex bolt and we will remove that. From the top, you can just take your finger and push the old brake pads out from the bottom. You take your new brake pads with your fresh retention spring. That all brake pads, at least that we sell, come with these new springs. So you take your index finger and your thumb, just hold them together and then reinsert them back up. You align the holes and then reverse the process. There's no real torque spec to these, just good and tight. Get our pin back in there. Slide the new pads over the rotor. For really worn out pads or to where you've got pad metal to rotor, you might have to take a screwdriver and actually push the pistons back into the caliper to make that fit. So just, just a tip there. Get our original bolts. We're not going to do this in this video, but we do highly recommend you put a little dab of blue Loctite on each of these bolts and then reapply. Now, when you replace your pads, you do want to realign your caliper. Now, we have a separate video on realigning your caliper. We are going to show you in this video, just in the interest of time. So you don't want to tighten these 5mm bolts all the way. You want to keep this this caliper floating on the rotor, okay? I'm sitting there wiggling it. The reason why that's important is I've got my right hand on the tire and I'm rolling the tire and then I'm taking the front brake lever and I'm pumping it while I'm rotating. And then I'm gonna do a couple of rotations doing that motion. And when I stop, I'm gonna hold the brake lever. That way the wheel is not going anywhere. And our system is we always tighten the rear first and then tighten the front. When you're doing the front caliper, you want to tighten the bottom one first and then the top one second. Get these nice and snug and release the brake. Make sure that it freewheels. And then the last step is you'll want to use a torque spec of between 8 and 10 Newton meters for these bolts. And that's it. You got new brake pads.